I'd like to call this meeting to order. The Barren County Fiscal Court, this special call meeting, October the 12th, 2021, 11 a.m. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Jeff Potts.
Here.
Trent Riddle.
Present.
Carl Dixon.
Here.
Tim Cameron.
Here.
Mark Bowman.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Here. Billy Hamilton.
Here.
Michael Hale.
Here, thank you very much. So I'm going to turn this over to the chairperson of the building and property and the administrative. So guys, whichever one you all want to film, lead it up.
Okay, first item of business is a request of Bridge, Kentucky for temporary use of old jail facility. We've had a committee meeting earlier today requesting that. We decided it'd be only fair to bring it before the full court to make a decision. First of all, we think it's a great idea. This is my personal opinion. We want to do whatever we can to help this community. We all think it's a great idea. We have some major concerns about the use of the jail, the safety, the liability, the mold, maybe some asbestos dust from recent removable asbestos. This is going to be a discussion, suggestion. Other people think after we discuss this, we kind of gets into another discussion we had about the American Rescue Plan Act fund, the possibilities of the way we can use that money. And after a little investigation, I can't say for 100%, but we think that maybe some of that money could be used for Bridge America. My suggestion is not to let the jail be used for that and put their agency on the list to receive some of this money for Bridge. I mean, Bridge America.
I'll comment on this, and I did it in the committee. Certainly I'm concerned with the liability, but here's where Jeff Pot stands. I'm wanting to get out of the box. I'm tired of staying in the box and being told to stay in the box. My personal opinion, for the community needs this event. It's a good setting for it. And if the county attorney can look over what they presented and maybe a little extra, and she feels confident in it, that we can have as much liability off the county. I think it's huge that the kids need to have this instead of going to Nashville, Bowling Green, Scottsville. They're going to go to these events. I even like going to them. I'm not going to go that far, but I'll probably go to one local. So I'm going to look at Barren County versus Jeff Potts, just one group of people, and I'm representing everybody. Yeah, I'm got to watch the liability. I have to in my work, but I want to get out of the box. Kids needs to have this event here. My personal opinion, and that's where I stand on it. I'm going to vote yes, because I think the community needs this here, and it's a good setting. If the county attorney says that she's feel comfortable with it. If she's not feeling comfortable with it, certainly I'm not going to be able to be for it. But I just wanted you to share my heart, because I thought about this all weekend. These kids need to have this event here. That's my opinion. You're up.
This was addressed with me last week, and I've prepared a facility use agreement, a contract that I think, do all members of the court
Yes,
have that, Judge Hale?
they do.
The liability is addressed in the facility use agreement. It would be a binding contract between Barren County, Kentucky as the property owner and Bridge, Kentucky as the user of the facility for the limited purpose of this haunted house. The liability is addressed in the agreement. There is an express indemnity clause within that. And it looks like, okay, it's on that page. That is the last paragraph of the agreement. And it says that the user agrees to save, indemnify, and keep harmless property owner, Barren County, Kentucky, against any and all liability claims, judgments, or demands, including demands arising from injuries or death of persons, including those employees of Bridge, Kentucky, who may be participating. We may want to put in there also users, employees, as well as any volunteers that they may have for the event. This would include damage to property as well, arising directly or indirectly out of obligations undertaken or out of the operations conducted by the user for the haunted house purpose. This user agreement also addresses some liability insurance and property damage insurance that could be required. I put that within the agreement as a precaution. Instead of just having an express indemnity clause, I think it would be beneficial. And that's probably something that Bridge, Kentucky would want to investigate and see what the cost of that would be. But I certainly think that a limited purpose for these specific dates policy would ensure against any potential liability. Magistrate Botts, to address your question, I think that would be a sufficient safeguard.
So with this agreement, you, the county attorney,
certainly, people, if there were to be any type of damage or injury as a result of this incident, people are known to sue whether they have contracts or not. And so, not a judge in a court of law, county attorney, and I can advise you that our contract.
Can y'all hear me?
Can you hear us, Mark?
No, I didn't hear anything that was said then.
Okay.
Is my mic on?
Pull it up very close to you.
Mark, can you hear me now?
I can, but it's like you're vibrating. I mean, it's a broken up.
Mark, is that any better?
That's a little bit better. My only if y'all can hear me, my only concern would be as long as Ms. Thomas, our county attorney, is okay with this liability and it covers everything and the county is held harmless, I think it's a great idea. And does this cover, I think Tim mentioned that, or maybe one of you guys did, about the asbestos. Is this all inclusive and cover any potential liability to us?
The agreement, can you hear me, Mark?
Barely, yes.
Okay. The agreement that I have prepared addresses that the user that is Bridge, Kentucky, would be agreeing that the use of the facility is an as-is use agreement, meaning whatever state the property is in at this point, we're not obligated to make any changes in order to prepare it for their event. It also includes and addresses that the user, Bridge Kentucky, would be responsible for obtaining a limited purpose for the dates of the haunted house liability insurance policy, and also a property damage insurance policy. Those would be two separate things. One would address injury,
Right.
one would address property damage.
Okay.
There is also an express indemnity clause, which is the last paragraph of the agreement. And by doing that, I feel, having the insurance policies required and also having the express indemnity clause that both parties would be agreeing to, that I feel comfortable that it would be safeguarding the county against any potential liability.
Okay.
To address Magistrate Coomer's question, could someone potentially who was injured still sue and include the county? I certainly, they could. Do I think that we would have protection against that? I do.
Okay. And as far as the asbestos, of course, we know when we tore down part of the old jail there, there is asbestos, or so this agreement will cover asbestos too.
If you all would like to add a separate clause in the agreement with regard to the known asbestos that is present, we certainly can do that. I would assume, maybe I shouldn't assume, but I do think it should be required that the user, Bridge Kentucky, have prepared a waiver for all individuals attending their event, all individuals. That includes patrons who are coming to the event and also their volunteers and their staff, to sign waivers of liability and should specifically address the asbestos issue.
Okay. Thank you.
What's the liability limit on this policy? We're looking at a blank contract here.
There is not a number in there. That was purposefully left blank for the court to determine.
Bridge Kentucky said that you all have a policy, $1 million. Okay, and then Master Cummings, would you address the abatement of the asbestos?
Yes, it has been removed that they know of. They still think there's possibility could be some in the old boiler. They don't know until they get that out, but possible dust from the removal. But the biggest concern I think now is the mold. And I have been told by someone that does removing the asbestos that the mold could be deadly to some people that had other issues, health issues, that could be more of an immediate, concern to people's health than asbestos.
Any more discussion? Any other questions? Here's what to say. One more thing, I know you have counsel to Bridge Kentucky. Specifically,
I'm gonna make a motion, and in this motion, the county attorney to add any asbestos and mold somewhere or another in any end of this.
Can't hear you.
And that's gonna be my use that with him to add it into.
Master Bots, what about the employees and volunteers?
Yes.
Can we have a motion? Do we have a second? I'll second it. Have a second. Any further
What-
discussion?
What's the motion?
Your motion is to allow the Bridge Kentucky youth game with those. What she's done.
Can't hear you.
Yes. If they get added in.
Master Bowman, can you hear me? No. Okay, I'm gonna call you. Put your computer on mute, please. Your motion is to go ahead and use.
Yes.
Okay, so the motion is to,
and of course, what the county attorney to explain, but she's also gonna add verbiage of asbestos and mold. And then also the words employees and volunteers that participate in this. So that's the motion to add that verbiage to this liability contract. Or usage contract, I'm sorry.
And also to mandate that they use a waiver of liability for all persons attending.
And to also mandate they use a waiver for everyone that attends and that is working there. All right, and we do have a second on that too. Do you have any other questions? Okay,
I'm gonna give my 2 cents worth here. I'd be all about it if we worked out at the park or at Beaver Trail, or the county park or the city park. There's absolutely no way that I could vote to send people into a building that has traces of asbestos and mold in it. There's absolutely, there's no way. I mean, I could not vote yes to it. If there was a lawsuit, we know that asbestos is probably present there. We know there's mold present. We will be drilled right in the middle of that lawsuit, period. Now, I'm voting no. You guys do whatever you want.
any other questions, comments?
Just curious too about the age limit of, for that to have is there an age limit on children's?
16 and under, what they can come in, I mean, 16 and under, kind of have a, like, over 18.
Any other questions? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Squire Riddle,
No.
Squire Dickinson.
No.
Squire Cameron.
No.
Squire Bowman,
No.
No.
Squire Sarton,
No.
Squire Houchin,
No.
Squire Mott,
Yes.
and Taylor.
Yes.
I want to follow up by saying that if we could work out something at the park, I think it's a great idea. And I'm just like Jeff, I think we need it. This is just not the place to do it.
We would have to test it to see what the level of work they're at. We're just using the main hall of rates.
This? Okay. All right, I think your next, is the American Rescue Plan funds. Okay, I'm sorry. We're gonna talk about that next week. I'm sorry. So we'll go on. Tracy, go ahead and put your, PowerPoint up, with the transportation budget reporting ending first quarter, and then some, some things that we're looking at in second quarter. So Susan, if you want to come back up, give that presentation. The two of you that were not here, Susan's put a lot of time and effort crunching numbers. So I think that I believe we're going to continue doing this, giving you guys a breakdown, a quarterly breakdown, so you will truly know where we're at. If you got any questions, ask them. If you can't answer them, we'll figure them out.
Judge, I wish that everyone would do the same thing, and we should think of
Okay.
At the end of the first quarter for the transportation department, we have used 15.06% of our budget. We've completed 2 mowing cycles and almost finished with the estimated cost for 2 mowing cycles this fiscal year is $39,038.40. Replacement of tiles, installation of tiles, ditch and shoulder work, damages from heavy rainfall. Checking and cleaning the water boards and tiles, tree removal, pregnant pipe roads. Since July 1, we've paid 10 roads at 5.43 miles coming in and it's pretty close to $168,326.20. Today, we have 7 CDL drivers, 1 with a CDL permit, 6 non-CDL drivers. That gives us 14 employees. Second quarter projections, tree removal, checking, cleaning, low water boards and tiles, ditch and shoulder work, replacing cross tiles and entrance tiles, prepping roads for spring paving. And as winter approaches, we'll be getting our snow equipment ready to, or if and when we need it. Next, please. We'll start going over snow routes to get employees familiar with the routes. Thursday, we'll be making a load of 8,200 paving mix and 2 of the Enviro coat mix. We're looking into sending a few employees to get heavy duty equipment certifications. Within the upcoming weeks, I'll be placing an order of salt in the winter ton, which will leave us 200 ton to be able to purchase through the reverse salt auction. That will be full capacity of salt starting season off. The motorcycles this year, we're in our 6th motorcycle, which they just crossed 6880 going into. So they are almost finished with the 6. As of right now, you can see the cost of the first 5 and how many days. Next, please. This is the 2 years that we contracted mowing and the total price for each year. Both years together is $330,591. Next. And this is the 4 years prior to contracting it out. 4 years total, $348,997.66. Any questions? All those prices include bridge benefits, pay, equipment costs, expenses, fuel.
I have one that Scott may be able, or somebody's had a lot of experience down there. Do we have enough storage of salt that you all are comfortable with? Is it, or do you have any ways of possibly storing extra tar bit or something? That's just, I know last year it hit hard and we ran out. I'm just asking that.
Well, we never did run out.
Well, you run close now.
in my opinion. Depends on how you want to continue to go about your snow and ice. If you don't have enough storage to start at the beginning of a road and stop to the end of it. So I know state knows there. Just on salt, Barren County, Judge made back me up on this, the mileage, there's 620, I think they got 670. Right at it. Costs them $150,000. You ain't got to pay to do it. You can't compete with price. We hit the hills and the curves, back spots, and that's about all we got. Other than that, you're just putting a blade down, trying to clean it up. So to answer your question, though, you don't have a big enough storage facility, even if you want to go in that field. So, it's over and solved.
Thank you.
Do we have any, have we spent our bridge money this year, the cost share? Do you have anything earmarked for that? You know, I've got a couple of local foods that I know have bound to eat up a lot of time, like the one at Wilbur Taylor, and Windschool, they are constant, just an absolute constant maintenance thing. Every time it rains, you have to run it, clean something down. And it's really rough. Milton Taylor they break the thing. So I'd really love to see something done for us. If we can, unless there's something more pressing. I like seeing pour out.
Any other questions as relates to the budget? Comments, like to see done different?
Excellent report.
Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? We are adjourned. Thank you all.